Hello, and welcome to Sierra Service Project's online training course for first-time adult counselors. Only adult leaders who have never before served as counselors at SSP are required to take this course. In this training, we will go over what you can expect during your time at SSP, as well as our expectations of you. Please follow along in your counselor handout as you go through the training. At several points during the course, you will be asked to answer some questions to make sure you understand what to expect from the trip. At the end of this training, you will be asked to complete a brief survey of your experience. Remember, you are always welcome to call or email our office with any questions you still have after completing the course. We hope this training will equip you to understand SSP's mission and purpose, your role as an adult counselor, and paint the picture of the SSP experience. Nothing can replace the real deal, but this will give you a preview of what you can look forward to this summer. You're in for a unique and transformative experience, and we're excited to serve alongside you. A good starting point is to take a few minutes to reflect on SSP's mission statement, building faith and strengthening communities through service to others. This mission reflects the heart of our work in the summer and throughout the year in Native American, urban, and rural communities with youth, young adults, and adult volunteers. We ask that all SSP participants, whether first-time volunteers or seasoned staffers, seek to honor this mission as we build beloved community together.
Now let's take a look at the Ssp Theology Statement. Please read along on page 2 of your counselor packet. We know God to be a giver of wonderful gifts. Sierra Service Project is an extension of the divine invitation into a relationship with God. Like God, Sierra Service Project can only invite, but cannot control the response of those invited. Like grace, Sierra Service Project offers service freely, without judging if the receiver merits our love. We as participants of Sierra Service Project are the receiver of God's grace. We extend that same grace to our hosts by putting our faith into action, repairing homes. We respond to God's invitation to open ourselves up to the possibility of a transformational experience. In community, we begin to recognize our dependence on God and interdependence on each other. As a community, we strive to grow, being led by the Spirit. We choose to serve, believing that through our humble acts of love, we can learn about God's character and love for us. We seek to accept people as they are from the moment they stand before us, as the first step towards a relationship. We seek to remain open, an openness of hand and of heart that we might give, receive, and understand. Through our acts of service, we allow the grace of God to flow into and through our lives. We understand that all people are valuable, carefully fashioned in God's image, and we are freed to accept the essential humanity of each person we meet. In reaching out to others, we follow the example of service set forth by Christ. As with Christ, we serve people whose lives will benefit by our service. We believe that God lives with us and the work we do with our hands and our hearts. We realize that despite the differences in culture, values, history, and geography, we are all brothers and sisters of worth. Let us accept the Sierra Service Project invitation. Let us rise up and build.
Core to SSP's mission and theology is an invitation to all. Please follow along as we read our inclusion statement, which is also available on our website. SSP is an affirming and welcoming community that celebrates the lives and love of all people. We welcome LGBTQ+ individuals who have too often been excluded from communities of faith. As people of faith, we strive to live in tandem with creation rather than in opposition to it. To do so means welcoming all people, regardless of sexual orientation, gender, or its expression. Our passion for justice, love, and equality has no limits. Together, we seek to be bearers of goodness so we might truly open minds, hearts, and doors. Let's take a look at who participates in SSP each year. On average, about 55 youth and adult volunteers serve during a week at SSP at several different locations throughout the western United States. There may be more or fewer than this during the week when you will serve. Our volunteers may consist of several large youth groups, many small youth groups, or a combination of these. Individual youth unaffiliated with a group are also encouraged to attend. About 150 groups attend each year, sending between 1,700 and 1,800 volunteers to all of our sites over the course of the summer. Most groups are from California, where SSP's roots are, but we also have groups from Arizona, Oregon, Washington, and other states that attend. Our volunteers are typically United Methodist, but SSP is open to anyone who wants to serve. We also host Episcopal, Lutheran, Catholic, Presbyterian, United Church of Christ, and non-denominational groups. SSP strives to offer a variety in types of locations where volunteers can serve. 4 of our 5 sites this summer are in rural locations and 1 is urban. In Spokane, Washington, and Saley, Arizona, we work on Native American reservations and primarily serve the Native communities there. Alternatively, volunteers in Chiloquin, Oregon, and Smith River, California, may serve with the local tribe, but our services are open to anyone in the community. Our urban site is in San Diego, California, where we have abundant opportunities to connect with local nonprofits and other organizations serving the community. Our community is usually housed in a school or church for the week. We eat, sleep, worship, and play there. Facilities vary by site. Some sites may utilize other facilities for meals and showers, and some sites have porta potties. Some sites have indoor dining facilities, while others may dine outdoors. All volunteers, youth and adults, sleep on the floor with areas separated by gender. SSP welcomes non-binary and gender-fluid volunteers, and our staff are prepared to make sleeping and shower accommodations as needed. Some work sites are close to where volunteers are housed, but others can be up to a 45-minute drive away.
At the beginning of the summer, our construction staff members work with the tribal or community leaders to determine which homes we should work on. They go through each home and determine which jobs we will do based on skills needed, safety, and cost. Each job is chosen carefully. We look for a job that can involve all members of a work team, a job that can be done safely at the work site, and a job that can be completed during the summer. You will hear us say this several times at your week at SSP, but please do not discuss other projects or promise work that comes up at your worksite with the homeowners before talking to the construction coordinator about the problem or job. There may be several reasons that the job isn't on our to-do list. So now that you know how SSP decides which homes to work on, let's take a look at some of the projects that SSP does. We repair and patch roofs. We paint. We build stairs and awnings. We build wheelchair ramps and decks. We do not do plumbing or electrical work here at SSP. Remember, we will teach you what you need to know to make these fabulous projects happen.
Let's meet who you'll be working with this summer. Each year, SSP hires about 40 young adults who dedicate 9.5 weeks of their summer to working with youth and adult volunteers, as well as the local community we serve. Each staff is typically made up of 7 or 8 individuals whose job descriptions are found on your handout. The staff from all the sites start out in Sacramento for training, spend 1 week on-site setting up, host 6 weeks of volunteers, and finally have 1 week of cleanup and debrief back in Sacramento. Most summer staff attended SSP themselves as high schoolers, and about half have served on staff before.
The site director oversees the operation of the entire site and leads the staff team. He or she is the primary liaison with the SSP headquarters in Sacramento. The Spiritual Life Coordinator organizes all of the programs and activities. This includes team building, evening programming, cultural exchanges, and all other spiritual components of the week. The SLC is also the spiritual leader for the staff.
Our food service coordinator team purchases and prepares all of our fabulous food for an average of 55 people each week, though this may be up to 85 people during some weeks. They also recruit and oversee volunteers that want to help out in the kitchen.
Each site has 3 staff members that are dedicated to the construction part of the SSP experience. They select projects, purchase and organize supplies, teach construction skills, offer ongoing support to the teams, and oversee the projects from start to finish.
Although each staff member has a specific job, they all work very closely together to make each week a success. Prior to heading out to the summer sites, all staff members gather for 10 days in Sacramento for training in job-specific skills, youth ministry, conflict resolution, finances, and defensive driving. All of our staff are first aid and CPR certified, and each food service coordinator has a food handler's card.
SSP is also supported by a volunteer board of directors. These folks are made up of a cross-section of backgrounds, faiths, and a professional expertise. They devote their time and money to SSP year-round. The board also includes 3 youth members.